Well, guys, I've done it. I have made a terrible decision and bought the world's roughest Ford Focus RS that runs and drives. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Like I just said, I have made a really stupid purchase. Well, I guess it's kind of stupid, but I've wanted one of these for a while, and I just never wanted to pay the exorbitant amount that these things typically bring. So I had to just buy a really rough one, and that's okay. But man, this thing is like really rough. If you can't tell, it's been in a couple accidents. It will become more and more apparent as we go around it more. It does run, and I say drive, it at least moves around in the parking lot. This one was sold at a dealer auction as a non-running vehicle, and on the driver's side window that has since been washed off, it said no start, overheat. So fingers crossed we're not going to have a head gasket issue. I'll deal with that more here in just a few minutes in this video and talk to you about that. But at the moment, I just kind of want to let you guys kind of take it all in. It's something this beautiful really needs to be taken in. I mean, you've got, I don't know how you even get these type of scratches in a hood. This here, the bumper, it's not even just that it's like broken and spaced out. It's that they literally didn't even try to shove it back in. They just took screws, and like, these are hardware screws, and just ran them straight down. It's bad. I mean, the body work on this thing is terrible. So in addition to it, here's another screw for you. You always want to put the really pointy screws right by the tires. That way, if they back out, you know, the tire can catch them. It's good. This thing, in addition to being a non-runner, is also a salvage title. Well, let me rephrase that. It's a rebuilt title, but has been rebuilt multiple times. It's also qualifies as a total loss. The mileage is marked not actual, which I've already Carfaxed it, and it is actual. Just went through a state at some point, probably where it gets marked exempt or not actual. But it's rough. Nonetheless, it is really rough. So I couldn't pass it up, though, for what I paid for it, and nonetheless, it's at least kind of cool to look at. After looking over it some more, it appears the entire thing has been repainted. It's got more of a metallic to it than the nitrous blue typically does. I don't hate the color. The colors are actually really good. The part that sucks is it looks like the fenders, you can kind of see it here. There's a slight difference. This is a little bit darker than this, but both have been painted because I can see dirt here and dirt here. So maybe it's just a lighting thing, but overall, I'm happy to have it. It is, I think, what they would consider an RS1 because it does not have a sunroof, does not have heated seats or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and look at the inside, and no surprise here, it's kind of gross as well. I don't really know what's on this seat. It looks to be like paint. I'll let you guys use your imagination. You know, Red Bulls everywhere, just dirt and grime on the floor. It does, however, even though it's marked not actual, have 82,000 miles on it. So we've got the factory Recaros here, actually in really good shape, and these are super comfortable. Open up, go to the back seat. Again, just more dirt. It's kind of typical for one of these Focus, this generation Focus, just to be dirty. People don't take care of them. I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of them just don't get taken care of. I do have the rear lower valance, which of course has these really nice screw holes that, because again, screws are cheap apparently. You know, that piece there, I think from Ford, is like $200, but why replace it when you can just screw it in for, you know, 12 cents. Pop this back here. Oh, another thing too. It is structural damaged. So with it having rebuilt and everything like that, that's kind of a no-brainer. It's going to happen. But this hatch does seem like it's got a little bit of pressure on it when it goes to pop. So we might be caved in back here a little bit. I don't know. I think this is probably supposed to lift out here easier. There we go. Maybe if we drop that seat down, we can lift it up. Doesn't look awful. I don't see nothing too major back here, at least. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's rough. That's what I have to keep telling myself. You bought a rough one. That's what it's going to be. That slammed way harder than I expected. Now let's get to the important stuff. Let me show you this magnificent beast of a motor that Ford has put under the hood. Now I will say, it is impressive the power that they made out of this motor. And aside from the stupid head gasket issue that plagues these, they're a pretty decent motor from what I've seen. They can make some decent power. I think most tunes you can get you right around the 400 horsepower mark. So you're going to be at 330 to the wheels, 340 to the wheels, somewhere around there. It does have a Mishimoto coolant hose of some kind. Not sure. Yeah. It looks like we might have an aftermarket radiator as well, which I did not know that, but that looks nice. So that's good. We've got two Mishimoto hoses, so we're good there. However, on the front of coolant, we don't have any in here, and that's a concern. But like I said, I did a Carfax on it, and it shows that this car has not had one, it's not had two, it's not had three, but it has had 4 accidents in its life. 2 or 3 of which I believe have totaled it. The first one happened with like 3,000 miles. The second one happened, I think, with 10,000. And then there was another one in there. And then this last one happened in January. And I'm assuming, and I'm going to give this previous owner the benefit of the doubt, because hopefully, you would think if you had this car, you'd at least take a little bit better care of it. They had an incident with a fence, is what it said. They hit a fence. So hopefully, and I am hopeful, maybe this is cracked. Maybe the aftermarket radiator that I wasn't aware of has got a crack in it, which I'm totally cool with. I'll put a factory one back in it. It doesn't matter to me. All of that to say, I really don't want to have to deal with the head gasket issue that these can be plagued with. And I know I've mentioned it a couple times in this video already. If you are not familiar with these were built from 2016 through 2019, I believe. And what happened was, at the factory, they were also building the Ford Mustang EcoBoost motors. And the EcoBoost is a similar variant of this motor. However, they have 2 different head gaskets. And Ford being Ford, someone at the Ford plant switched the head gaskets. And some of these got the EcoBoost head gaskets, or some of these got the Mustang EcoBoost head gaskets, and some of them got the proper ones. I don't know on this one which one it got. You would think, since that is a manufacturer defect, that Ford would say, hey, bring it back and we'll replace it. They did, but it was only if the car was in warranty still. So all they did was issue a TSB, meaning, hey, we know of this problem. If one comes in under warranty, this is where to start. Since this car is clearly out of warranty with everything that has gone wrong with it, I pretty much just get a pat on the back and say, hey, you know what, good luck to you. Even though we manufactured it, potentially manufactured it wrong, that's on you. To me, that doesn't seem right. If the manufacturer built it incorrectly, they need to cover it. And I'm not going to fight that fight. It's not worth fighting. But I don't understand how that didn't ever act or turn into like a class action lawsuit, because if you bought this thing under the, guise that it was a Focus RS, not a Mustang EcoBoost, basically, because again, the head gaskets they're different. What'll happen is not only will coolant leak, but also it will allow oil to leak, and it leaks down there somewhere. I haven't seen any oil leaks, and one thing that I am hopeful with, at least, I have not seen anything on here. None of this looks milky at all. It just looks like oil. A little dark, but nothing crazy. Actually pretty clean for a Focus. Don't take that the wrong way, Focus people, but I've seen a lot of these and STs that get blown up a lot because of lack of oil changes. So, do you guys want to see the fun part? The fun part is I bought it as a non-running vehicle, and surprise, surprise, it actually does run. Now, like I said, on this window when it came in, it was written on here, no runner overheat, or engine overheats. So I've got the key in my back pocket. This motor is cool as a cucumber. I'll go ahead and fire it up. I don't know if you noticed anything, but right upon fire up, high engine temperature, stop safely. Temperature gauge goes immediately to hot. Obviously, that's not the case. So we're gonna have to dig in and kind of figure out what we've got going on. Obviously, I know that the overflow jug is empty. However, motor's not going to overheat just by firing it up. So, I guess I've got a parking lot. I guess we could maybe just see if it moves. Well, we've got first and we've got second. That's a good start. Do we have reverse? Hey, we've got reverse. Oh, we've got a kitty cat down there. I don't want to scare him. So, I'm not going to do a full pull at the moment. I might try to back up down that way here in a few and see if I can't, I don't know, maybe launch it. But I would like to figure out what our cooling situation is, because it does kind of start to break up a little bit like that. So kind of sounds like a wet fart. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's we definitely are fighting probably some misfires. So, is there a chance the head gasket's bad? Yes, there is a very good chance. Are we hoping that the head gasket is bad? No, I really hope and pray that it's not. I hope that we're able to fix this thing easily. Nonetheless, I wanted to share this journey. If you guys want to stick around for it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to stick around with this type of fitment. I mean, that's good stuff right there. That's perfect. That's how you get maximum aerodynamic efficiency. But hey, just remember, when it's too rough for you, it's just right for me. And I'll stand by that. I'm not complaining. I've got a Focus RS and I'm happy to have it. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see the upcoming videos of me getting into this thing and figuring out what we've got going on.